What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Meehan. Shaun, how's it going?
Good. I'm good. That was a good inflection on my... I'm glad that's continuing into 2022, I'll be honest.
It's a new year, new me.
I would argue it's the same you, given that that's the bit you've had going for a month and a half now. But new year, new me, Connor. I'm no longer going to, divulge traumatic stories from my childhood right in the intro of the show. It's just not going to happen anymore. That's
going to cut at least 30 minutes of the runtime of each episode.
That's the thing. It's also going to cut a lot of the comedy, weirdly enough. But it's just going to be called Hard Movie News from now on, I believe.
So what was interesting about this was I have to start off the year but with another cough, I'm assuming, at some stage. But
oh, it's a good one. It's a good start.
It's a good one. It's 2022. You got to start off. But I've had the
no one edits.
I've had the it's fine.
No,
it's
also,
fine.
New Year's resolution, no editing in 2022. All the coughs, they get left in.
Okay. They were already left in.
I know, but it's going to continue.
So a lot of people were asking me, why don't we do an awards thing at the end of 2021? Best movie of the year, worst movie of the year, all that jazz. Now, a lot of people will know we kind of have been taking a bit of time off. We put out an amazing Spider-Man review last week. That was our Patreon episode that we released.
Yeah.
And I was going to do a list this week, like an award ceremony. But then I realised it was just going to be Dune or Spider-Man No Way Home.
Those are the two awards. Movies. And Shang-Chi, to its credit. And Black Widow was also there.
Bus scene from Shang-Chi. Good.
It was like when we had train scene from Dark Phoenix.
Exactly. Mostly just moving vehicles and cool punches are our thing, right? But it would have been just a lot of No Way Home and Dune. So Shaun, I'm going to get it out of the way straight off. What was your movie of 2021? We're just going to get it out of the way. We're going to move on.
Okay. Best movie was Dune. Best movie experience was Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, I think best movie was Dune. My favourite movie was No Way Home. I think is the way to go with it.
I think that's a fair way of doing it. And I think the Academy will agree with us. And if they do, they all listen to this show. You heard it here first.
So, we haven't talked any movie news in like weeks. And because we've done the Spider-Man No Way Home review as well. So I felt like we needed to start 2022 smack bang back in Movie Mondays, that niche spot, talking about all the trailers and movie news that have happened over the last few weeks, over the Christmas period when we're all in that weird spot where we're not in work. We maybe are, unfortunately, but like all the couches are on sale. It's very strange.
Fucking, you can tell you just moved to a new house. I don't know.
On sale.
I don't know the going rate of couches at the minute, I'll be honest.
It's good. It's a good one.
It's a good time to buy couches, ladies and gentlemen. Connor's invested heavily in couch coin recently.
I just have... They said I was a laughing stock. I said, no. Take your NFTs and fuck off. Give me that fucking futon. So, Shaun, we are starting off this week with a bit of news from Sony. And I really want to preface this week by saying Sony, I feel like, following No Way Home's success, have come out big in the following weeks.
Man's been making some claims, Mr. Sony.
I think Sony have had one win. And now they're like, we're the biggest kid in the yard. Don't fuck with us. So there's numerous stories I have this week of all these rumours and reports and all this. And we're starting off with Sony reportedly with plans for Emma Stone to return to play Spider-Gwen in a new project, Shaun.
My God. Okay, so right out of the gate we're doing this. I would like to preface this episode, I feel, with there might be some spoilers for No Way Home in this. So if you haven't seen it, by all means, listen to this later. It will still be here, and you can still like and share with your friends, and follow us on Patreon if you're interested. All of the socials.
That like button.
Smash the like button, in fact, and all of the rest of it. So just there's your warning. If you haven't seen it yet, this episode might not be for you. This news, very interesting to me, because there were rumours before. There was a lot of rumours before No Way Home came out, but there had been rumours that Emma Stone would show up in some way, shape or form as Gwen Stacy. So, do you think, and this is me coming right out of the gate with this, Connor, that they are going to make The Amazing Spider-Man 3 and do a parallel universe Emma Stone?
What's interesting is that was kind of a lot of the rumours that were coming out. It was all about, well, mostly Andrew Garfield, because the internet fell in love with Andrew Garfield again. He's
exposed. Sorry, I've downloaded TikTok, right? Everyone's fucking obsessed with Andrew Garfield. He's a nice man. Those movies were fine, the first one, and not great, the second one.
He's a charming man. I would say charming.
Charming man. Tick, tick, boom. We all love it. But he's, I feel like off the back of No Way Home, people are just having more of a fond memory of his Spider-Man than they had in 2014.
Yeah, and I think that's understandable, because I think we talked about in the review is that he's the standout of, he brings his absolute A game. And I mean, he's an excellent actor, performer as it is. He's probably going to win an Oscar this year, but not for Spider-Man. It's for Tick Tick Boom. But he is excellent in lots of other roles, and now seeing him come back, it was kind of, I think he really works, as we kind of discussed it in the review, the middle child.
Yeah.
What's interesting is, if we do another Andrew Garfield film, this is nothing to do with Spider-Gwen, by the way, we'll get to that in a second. If he does another Spider-Man movie, do we start off with him being jokey, or do we come back in when he's not pulling his punches, would be my main thing.
I think you pick up after No Way Home if you do this movie, because I feel because No Way Home serves as Andrew Garfield's third film in a lot of ways, in that we learn what happened to this character and where he went. So once he goes back to his own universe, perhaps with Tom Hardy's Venom, I feel you need to then, he's not redeemed himself for Gwen's death, but he's in his own mind, he's come to terms with it in a way that he hadn't before. So I feel and then introducing Gwen back in, and him having to realise, no, this isn't my Gwen. That's another...
It's Spider-Gwen.
It's Spider-Gwen.
You've kind of answered my first question, was, would you put Spider-Gwen in the same universe as Andrew Garfield?
I think it works better like that. I don't, because he's the only Spider-Man on screen that has had a meaningful relationship with Gwen Stacy. Not to denounce Bryce Dallas Howard in Spider-Man 3, but I would never do that in front of you. Me.
They'll love it.
This will have no repercussions whatsoever, he said.
I'm Spider-Man, trust me. It's all aces.
So I think, and also Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield have great chemistry. I know they're not together anymore, but I assume they can still have that chemistry together.
Do you think that Sony should do a Spider-Gwen movie live action with Emma Stone, or would it be more interesting if they just cast somebody else as Spider-Gwen?
I don't... Here's a fucking wild idea. What if it's Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Bryce Dallas Howard as Spider-Gwen?
Bring Bryce back. And you need that 70s guy.
Ashton Kutcher. Yeah.
Not Ashton Kutcher.
Mila Kunis, sorry. Yeah.
They would be good.
Topher Grace, you're thinking
Topher. You need Topher back.
Bring back Topher, I say. No, the thing is, I feel like Spider-Gwen has been done very, very well in Into the Spider-Verse.
I think this is Sony, literally, right? They've just seen Spider-Verse. Their one thing they've done well, right? And they did so well, universally. Everyone's like, that's the best Spider-Man movie. That is the best movie. It's fucking excellent. Everyone who's seen it, no matter what age, is like, that's funny. It's nice. It's like one of the best. They've looked at that and they've thought, let's do everything doing in that, but we'll make it live action and we'll see what happens. Now, No Way Home is excellent. But I feel like they've taken the wrong message and now they're doing, let's do one for everyone.
Are you suggesting that Sony would maybe reach too far, too early in a particular franchise?
I think Spider-Man... Look, I'm going to come out and say it. I don't think Andrew Garfield should come back as Spider-Man, but not because I don't like him, but I really like him in No Way Home. Like, that's the perfect end. That's just...
Yeah,
that's Spider-Man is done.
That's a send-off to that character. Same as
it's
a
send-off. He never got the send-off. It's because we never got a third one that a lot of people are like, we want another one. Because you never got that trilogy. You never got to finish it off. I would count No Way Home as part of, like, that's the end of his story. He came to terms with the death.
Yeah, because I think all you need to know about him in that movie is that he's a Spider-Man who stopped pulling his punches. Like, he fell too far towards the side of vengeance, kinda, and No Way Home remedies that in a lot of ways. So he would just be continuing as a regular Spider-Man, and then just have Gwen Stacy thrown in for the sake of Andrew Garfield was in a very popular Spider-Man movie recently.
So would you want to see Spider-Gwen live action, or are we sticking with Haley Steinfeld Into the Spider-Verse?
I mean,
I would like to see that Spider-Gwen get her own film.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing. But she's Hawkeye now, so what can you do?
She's busy. She's a busy woman.
But either way, she's fighting Kingpin. So
true.
The thing is, I'd like to see more multiverse stuff, but I think that's going to happen in the MCU more so than the Sony side of things.
Sony just want to build up the Sonyverse.
Yeah, I think if we see Andrew, and I don't think we're going to see Spider-Gwen too I don't think we're going to get a well-developed Spider-Gwen in a Spider-Man movie. I think she might pop up in other things, kind of like a Jessica Drew Spider-Woman character is in the comics. As like this just established superhero in her own right. But I feel if we see Andrew Garfield again, that might be in a Morbius movie or a Venom or something like that.
What if I threw something at you?
Yeah.
All of the villains originate from the bottom of a big skyscraper.
Keep talking. Okay?
All of the origins are there. One by one, they get given the equipment they need. It's all just there. They don't need any backstory.
They can just steal it.
They just steal it one by one. There's 6 of them. Oh no, what are we going to do? Andrew Garfield needs help. Let's bring Spider-Gwen in. Let's bring Morbius in. Let's bring Venom in. Get the whole crew back together, the lads. And we'll go fight the Sinister Six. And then maybe at the end, Doctor Strange has to revert it all back to normal. I'm not quite sure the ending bit. But
see, let's
do that.
Is that with Multiverse of Madness, you could, in theory, all the other movies in the Marvel intellectual property, all of those movies, you can say just kind of briefly intersect with the MCU. I think that's the way you could do it, honestly. And this is kind of hard to say. I agree with you. I just leave Andrew Garfield, leave that whole universe, and just let it lie, and just let's focus on, hey, we now have Spider-Man literally exactly where he is in the comics.
You have the perfect comic book Spider-Man.
Yeah, let's just build from there.
Yeah, he's proper Peter Parker. He's going to have to go to work.
Yeah.
Nobody likes him. It's perfect. It's perfect Peter Parker.
He doesn't know anyone. Also, here's another thing. There is a theory going around on TikTok, I'll have you know.
I love the fact that all of our scoops now come from TikTok.
I know, which is all just like 14-year-olds with no more time than anything on their hands, and me. But it's apparently, and I don't know if you remember this, but the spell made everyone on Earth forget Peter Parker.
So he has no numbers, social security numbers, or anything like that.
And none at all. He wasn't invited to Aunt May's funeral. That's another thing. But everyone on Earth, Nick Fury is currently in space. Do you think it extends to like that specific level of like
I think they didn't think about it and they're just going to wing it.
There's a fair amount of not thinking about it and winging it in that film, but I still love it.
Let's just see what happens. I don't think they thought that far ahead. I think it's just like, it's grand.
Venom probably knows that he's Peter Parker. Let's just bring him in.
So we're moving on, Shaun, to our next piece of news. And this is more Marvel news. I think you're going to like this because Ghost Rider.
Oh, sorry, I'm back in.
Are heating back up, Shaun.
Fuck, we had these a while ago, didn't we?
Nicolas Cage is back. No, that's not the rumour.
Oh, if only.
Norman Reedus.
Oh, fuck!
As Ghost Rider rumours are
not
heating
bad.
Up, Shaun.
Not bad.
Now, many people will know Johnny Blaze, of course, had his own movie back in the day.
Like
2005? I can't quite remember.
About the time Fantastic Four came out, and that was 2004, I believe. So, yeah.
Yeah, and so he was so good. Everyone was like, that's excellent, perfect casting, don't recast it. It's like Hugh Jackman. Never do it, don't ever do anything with, he's done, please give us another one. So Ghost Rider is back on the tape. Marvel are throwing him out there, and he could be coming to the MCU. That was the rumour. And now they say that the Walking Dead star Norman Reedus has basically gone to the top of the queue. That he is the number one pick for this character.
Is this because he rides a motorbike a lot in The Walking Dead?
I think it might be, yes.
Might very well, okay. I mean, look, that's a skill that you can't train. You have to know that going into the role, I would say. Which is also why they were courting Keanu Reeves, I believe.
And by the way, I love the writing in the article that like they have to figure out a reason. They were like, it's a rather obvious pick, given the actor's experience playing a tough loner like Daryl Dixon, ... along with Norman's real-life penchant for motorcycles.
There we go, that's it. Now look,
that doesn't qualify him.
It really doesn't. But I also don't think it's a bad choice. It's not one I would have thought of, honestly. But like, if you're asking me to pick like a rural American stunt performer, Norman Reedus kind of fits the bill quite well. Now,
how old is Norman Reedus? I don't want to get
he's in
ageist.
his 50s. No, not at all. I think he's in his 50s, honestly.
What is Johnny Blaze usually? Is he... See, I never really
it's
aged Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, because he's essentially immortal because he's a spirit of vengeance. Like, he
pretty cool.
I think he can't die by natural means or something like that. Hang on, I'm gonna Johnny Blaze, because I feel
like Nicolas Cage has kind of like marred our viewpoint of Johnny Blaze, but I mean 40-year-old Johnny Blaze. I never think of Johnny Blaze as like Spider-Man age, but I also never think of him as like 70.
Yeah, because like it's very weird is the only like bullshit answer I can give. Personal information on the Marvel Wiki. Of course it doesn't tab down. That's fine. 1 sec here. Like, I like an older Ghost Rider. I think that works well. Because otherwise it's just like a 25-year-old who's been through so much fucking trauma in his life. There's a couple of versions of Ghost Rider. We did a Hero Zero on Ghost Rider a couple of months, if I say a couple, probably about 6 months ago. But there's Johnny Blaze, who is your standard. He's a stunt driver, made a deal with the devil, became a spirit with vengeance, had an intimate relationship with his adoptive sister, but is technically fine.
Just that's like the terms and conditions, like we're saying really fast.
Yeah, just like right at the end, we just slot that in there.
Like he's just having sex with his sister. Just it's technically fine. Don't worry about it.
But there's also I think it's Danny Ketch is his name, who is like, I think he's Johnny Blaze's like half brother or something like that. And I think they're generally like he's around his 30s kind of a deal. Now Norman Reedus, as you know, a human man, is 52. So I think they'd probably put him as Johnny Blaze as a 45-year-old.
Who's been at it a while. I feel like the MCU would be the place where they don't do the fucking origin story of how he got there. It's just there's a big fight scene. Something's going on. I don't know what characters. Venom's fighting Morbius. There's a Venom versus Morbius fight going on, and suddenly a motorcycle comes flying over the hill, and his fucking skull is on fire. They're like, who the fuck is that guy with the chain? He beats both of them. You're like, this guy, I'm assuming this guy's a badass. Holy shit.
Yeah, and you just have him pop up. Like, the thing is, as well, is there is a team in Marvel, I don't know if I've talked about this before, the Midnight Suns, they're called. And it is Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, and I think Morbius and a couple of others. So you could set up kind of a Midnight Suns type team with those characters as you have at the minute, introduce Ghost Rider that way, and then give him his own series or movie or whatever you want to do.
Okay, I mean, I feel like the MCU now at this stage is just going to start bringing everybody in. Like, I mean, Fantastic Four coming in, it makes sense. I think Norman Reedus, by the way, is very good casting for that. Like, if you're going to go with that kind of Ghost Rider, that he's been at it for a while, he knows what's going on. He's not, he's not dumb.
No, and I like you have him as this like. It works better if he's already established. Like he's been Ghost Rider for years, and he just hasn't been seen yet. But it works better because Norman Reedus he can play the grizzled old guy, or not even old, but like the grizzled has seen young some vet. Shit.
He's the grizzled young vet.
Yeah, exactly, and I'd like. That works well for the daytime stuff or when he's Johnny Blaze walking around. And when he's Ghost Rider, it doesn't really matter because he's a man with a flaming skull for a head.
It doesn't matter. He won't be there. It's fine.
Won't be there.
Also, the fact that he likes motorcycles wouldn't really impact him because he would be actually in the bike. It'll be all CGI.
Probably not, no. But except for probably his intro shot. His
intro shot would be him as a human, and then it'll be like you'll never see him again. Always at night time.
No, he's always on fire. It's grand.
Always on fire. So yeah, I feel like that's pretty cool casting. That's not confirmed, I must say, but it's just that is at the top of the list. It was kind of it popped up over the Christmas. I thought that's interesting. Shaun should know Ghost Rider is on the table currently. Kevin Feige's looking into it.
I'm a big fan of Ghost Rider. Big fan of Kevin.
Do you know what else you're a big fan of, Shaun? Is Matthew Vaughn. And
am I?
I think you like X-Men First Class.
Yeah, and Kingsman. Did he do Kingsman?
He did Kingsman.
Okay.
He did Kick-Ass.
Okay, it's all coming together. Keep talking.
Well, Matthew Vaughn has decided that he might want to do a bit of a Marvel movie, an MCU movie, direct one of them, Shaun, and he was asked who he would like.
Has he told Kevin Feige this, or?
He said, Kevin, I'm doing it. Right, shut the fuck up and sit down. Watch me now. What do you know? No, he says, I'd like to direct one. But not only that, he said, you know what movie I'd like to do? I'd like to cast a young Wolverine in a reboot of a Wolverine movie with Matthew Vaughn directing it. Shaun, I wanted to come to you with this news because this is a weird one. We like Matthew Vaughn. We like Wolverine. I don't like the word reboot or anything else involved with it.
No, Wolverine is really tricky because there's the comic book Wolverine, which is like a 5'2" angry Canadian, and then there's the movie Wolverine, which is 6'2" handsome Hugh Jackman. And I feel like in recent years the Hugh Jackman version is like the more widely known version of Wolverine. So do you reboot that version, or do you reboot the comic book version and then just have that play out?
Well, now this might actually be something that they're looking into, because, I mean, if we think about this logically, they are bringing the X-Men into the MCU.
This is known, yes.
So, if I was Kevin Feige, and I know we're bringing the X-Men into the MCU, and I know Wolverine's our cash cow, would you not let Matthew Vaughn, world-renowned director, have a solo movie for a young Wolverine, then have an X-Men movie and bring them all together?
See, 'cause that's the thing, because X-Men First Class is the best coming together of the X-Men movie that we've ever gotten.
And he's also done that, so he has X-Men prestige.
And he knows how to give each character like time, you know, like every X-Men First Class, every character has a moment to shine, kind of a thing. So
and it's got Magneto. It's got Magneto.
It's got Fassbender, more importantly.
It's got Fassbender hunting Nazis. And I mean,
it's one of the best. Oh, it's the best sequence in film ever. But it's also got Fassbender. Fassbender. I don't know if I mentioned it. We reviewed X-Men First Class a while ago. I don't know if I mentioned
Patreon,
this. Yeah. Go link in the description. But there's like about 3/4 of the way through that movie, Fassbender just drops the accent that he has going, and he's just Irish for the rest of it.
Dead right. I'm all in. At that point, Michael had stolen our hearts. It was fine. I'm like, Michael, yes, go for it. Kill those Nazis.
I like the idea of setting up a Wolverine that would that would work down the line in an X-Men film as well. But also, the big problem with those Fox X-Men movies was that Wolverine was always the main character.
Yeah.
Where he isn't in the comics. He was the one everyone liked, so they really latched onto him. So I don't think they should be looking at it as, God, how do we do the next Wolverine movie? I think it should be, how do we set up Wolverine in the next X-Men movie? Yeah,
I feel like that's a... But, see, I think logically that's how you would do it as a whole. Yes. But I think if you're making a movie, you stick Wolverine smack bang on a poster.
If you're a producer signing a check, like, absolutely.
You do the Wolverine movie. But I agree that what they've done there is they took the cool kid from the group and gave him his own movie and basically made him the lead. Whereas he was cool because he was the outcast and was dumb. And through the whole movie, he's like, this is dumb. Yeah. Why are we doing this?
Look at the ratings of every X-Men movie leading up to X-Men Origins Wolverine. And, like, that's what happens when you give the cool kid his own cool kid story. Like, you just get a pretty bad film, I will say. Except for the first 45 minutes, as I say in the Patreon review.
Anyone who has watched Wolverine Origins knows that the first 45 minutes are just as bad as the second 45 minutes.
First 45 minutes, absolutely solid.
I'll give you the first 10 when they go through all the wars.
No, that's a montage. That's a montage, Connor.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'm not giving you him in the woods chopping timber.
What's wrong with that? That's perfect for a Wolverine. Oh, you're some prick, Lawler.
This is the hill I'm going to die on. I refuse to yield. Also, his pitches for who he would want to play he also went so far as to name people that he wants to play. And his 3 were Tom Hardy, that's a no.
No, not happening.
Aaron Taylor-Johnson, also a no.
Also no.
He's now Craven the Hunter as well, so double no. And Taron Egerton, who, I mean, could do it, but it's a bit bland.
It's a bit of an, for want of a better word, like an obvious choice, you know? I think he's too set up to do an MCU movie at this point.
He's too handsome to be Wolverine. Wolverine needs to be ugly as shit. I don't know. Hugh Jackman has set us up on the wrong path.
See, he won't be ugly as shit because he has to be like a big actor, is the thing.
I'm just telling you, hire the ugliest man who walks into the casting room. He's grumpy, he's hairy, he's just filthy. But he hates everyone, and he's 4'11".
Do you know, he's a bit tall for it, but you know who I really want?
Go on.
It's a wrestling thing. It's Hangman Adam Page.
He's too handsome. He's got Stephen Amell.
He's got Stephen Amell face, but maybe it's the long hair, but I just think he'd look really good holding claws out and being angry.
Anyone who has watched Arrow, all you have to do is look up the wrestler Hangman Adam Page and just Google image the two of them beside each other. It's the same face. They've just copy and pasted.
Unless Stephen Amell has a ring name of Hangman Adam Page.
Maybe, on the sly.
And it's the best kept secret in the world.
I can't do Arrow, guys. Have to win the world title.
Sorry, guys. No season 7 for me.
So we're moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun. And this is sad news. And it's about your favourite franchise, Fast and Furious 10.
Oh, I know this news. I sobbed openly at Christmas dinner.
Oh, boys. So we covered a few weeks ago, I would say maybe November, Vin Diesel, he kind of put the ball into The Rock's court.
Yeah.
And he said, The Rock, we need you back, brother. We need you. Open invitation.
Yeah.
You're coming back in, right? My
kids love you. They think you're their real father or something like that. What? I forget the post. They called him Uncle Rock or some shit.
They call you Uncle Rock. All the orphans will die if you don't come back. We need your big name on the big poster for Fast 10, basically.
We need your movie selling charisma to go around the world and get people to see Fast 10. Now,
The Rock had previously said he had no interest in doing Fast 10 because I think he just doesn't like Vin Diesel. Fair enough.
They have a feud. They have an ongoing feud.
And Vin was like, I'll put you in a jungle, Rock, I promise. And he's like, no, still no. Even then, I'm a no.
Okay, Dwayne, what if I let you wear a khaki shirt with the sleeves rolled up?
And chest slightly exposed.
Oh, I'm talking two buttons undone.
One button too many that looks like you're very hot. Like you're just warm. It's just a humid day. You need it open.
Oh, but you're not sweaty, Rock. Oh, you're not sweaty.
No. It's stuck to you, but you're not sweating.
Rippling, I would say.
This is all in the pitch. But The Rock, he gets all these messages. What Vin Diesel did was very clever. He basically put it on social media.
He made it public.
He made it public. And he's like, Rock, come back. And he tried to take out world's nicest man, The Rock, publicly. Which is a big ballsy move, I must say, from Vinny D. It's backfired, though.
It has. Because I'm going to take over your role for a second. I believe The Rock has confirmed that he has no interest in returning to Fast and Furious 10.
I told Diesel directly that I would not be returning to the franchise. I was firm, yet cordial, with my words, and said that I would always be supportive of the cast and always root for the franchise to be successful. But there was no chance that I would return.
By God. I like how he wants to make clear how cordial he was during the whole thing. He says, I know I'm still Hollywood's favourite man, The Rock.
Now here's the thing, though. You can tell, first two lines, excellent PR. Because clearly, he's cordial. I was firm, yet cordial. I told him the way it was. But then after that, you can tell a little bit of The Rock's annoyance has come true. It's just a little glimmer. Because Vin's recent public post was an example of his manipulation. I didn't like that he brought up his children in the post, as well as Paul Walker's death. Leave them out of it. We had spoken months ago about this and came to a clear understanding.
Like, maybe it's The Rock seducing me, but like, I believe him. I'm like, no, you shouldn't have used your kids and Paul Walker's death to try and get The Rock to sell more tickets to your movie. That seems like a bad thing to do.
I feel like this is an interesting topic because normally Rock is never on the end of any bad PR, right?
No.
Which is very powerful in Hollywood. He never has one bad... There's never one headline of Rock kicks a child, like, off camera.
No, it's always him doing the rap from Moana. Like, it's that kind of stuff.
Like, he's impenetrable. He's literally a rock.
And to be honest, I'm sick of it.
I'm taking him down a peg. No, like, he's just the nicest man. As well, from what we can see. Maybe he's a dick. But from everything we know about him, he seems nice.
Didn't we have a feud with The Rock at one point?
I think I had a personal feud with The Rock because he was too nice.
Yeah,
But I am also, you don't want to fight The Rock, legitimately.
No, we were trying to cultivate drama to drive subscribers to the Patreon.
Yeah.
But quite frankly, we love The Rock too much.
He just beat the shit out of me.
Well, this one time we smelled what he was cooking, and my God, it was delicious.
So it's interesting here that clearly this conversation happened in, like, I'd say May. And Vin's like, you coming back? No. You coming back? No, honestly, I have no interest. I don't want to be disrespectful. I have no interest.
Yeah.
You coming back?
I wish you well. I hope the film, I hope it does well for you. I hope everyone enjoys it.
Because there's no amount of money that they can offer The Rock that he doesn't already have. So
The Rock, wasn't The Rock recently confirmed as an actual billionaire? Like,
he's the highest grossing movie star basically of the last decade. Like, back to back to back to back.
Like, the Rock's, like, rise to success is ridiculous. And also it's not from, like, one franchise either, because Sam Jackson was the highest grossing actor for a very long time because he had Star Wars and Marvel was his whole thing, like, in terms of movie box office revenue generated. But Rock,
I'm talking Rock's revenue himself. He's bringing in,
just the money he makes on the side, even.
Yeah. So, like, he says no. What Vin has done here is he went public and he involved everyone's like, yeah, but my kids love you, and Paul Walker's death means we got to bring you back in, and, like, we'd really love to have you back. You don't want to let us all down, do you, Rock? Puts him in a shit position, really, if we're honest. Yeah. And The Rock has come out in the only way he could and was like, I only have an issue with you, Vin. I love everybody. I hope you all have all the access, but Vin, stop. Seriously, stop.
Yeah, like, it's coercive and, like, all the rest of it. But okay, let's try and look at this from Vin's side, okay? Because I think we're rock stands at the minute. But if we look at this from Vin's side, he has a movie that he wants to do really, really well. He wants it to be the biggest movie ever. He wants to overturn James Cameron's Avatar 3.
Who is metaphorically and literally the biggest movie star if Batista's not around. But I think Rock is also taller than Batista.
I think Rock has a few inches on Batista. He certainly has the reach as well. But I think... I'm really trying to see it from Vin's side. But bringing up your dead best friend and also your kids to try and get someone to do something they don't want to do, that's a scummy thing.
Oh, Vin.
Vin, you've had such a fall from grace.
Oh, did he? Was it much of a fall?
People liked him as Vin. Groot, you know?
Yeah, he had that few months for after Groot. I don't think it's a good look. I'm assuming Vin will probably come out in the next week or so and, like, try to do damage control and come out and say, I never pressured him into do anything.
How do you spin that into, like...
Oh, definitely... It's going to be like, it was all a misunderstanding. I wasn't trying to pressure you into anything. Promise.
Yeah, obviously, if he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't want to do it. But I just wanted to let him know how much people want him to do it.
And how everyone will be sad if he doesn't do it. But once again, no pressure to do it.
This is a dream situation for The Rock, because if he rejects it, he's sticking to his guns. He's not going to be influenced. But if he does it, God, he really cares about the fans and he wants them to have a great experience.
Yeah. But you know what would be hilarious? If he went... I don't know what studio does Fast and Furious. Is it Paramount? No. Sony? I don't know. Somebody does Fast and Furious. Rock goes to them and he says, I will do Fast 10 if Vin doesn't do Fast 10. What would they do?
Make your choice. I mean...
Imagine!
God, you know, I think they might go with The Rock on that one,
you know
honestly.
What? But, like, you have, like, Fast and Furious is Vin Diesel. So, like, that's his franchise.
Yeah.
But The Rock is The Rock. So you're like, who do we choose?
He'd have to be in it, but he'd have to be killed off in the first 10 minutes.
Blown up.
Or, like, The Rock, like, does a one flew over the cuckoo's nest and, like, smothers him with a pillow out of mercy. Like, that kind
And
of thing.
that's, like, off camera. But then on camera, blown up.
Blown up. It's his corpse. Like, he's on the way to the cemetery, right? But they find out that the hearse is rigged to explode if it goes above 50 miles an hour.
Fast and Furious. Oh, man. Fast and Furious Horsepower.
Horsepower! Brilliant.
That's the name.
Brilliant, Connor. Brilliant. You're not often funny, but when you are...
The Rock's like, I'm in. Shut up, I'm in.
I'll kill him for real.
So The Rock will not be in Fast 10. Unfortunately, Vin Diesel, his messages did not work. It just kind of sounds a bit desperate at this stage, Vin.
It does, yeah.
Maybe just do the movies with the people you have. How must Han feel? I mean,
yeah,
I'm here. I came back from the dead.
I'm not being pressured to be in this movie.
Yeah, ludicrous. Nobody takes me once to be in the movie.
I just showed up and they said, right, here we go.
Go on, well, right, Jessiah. So we're moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun. And once again, more Marvel and Sony news. So
I think
happened, right, is our big trailer that we're going to talk about dropped.
Yes.
And then, to counteract it, we had many pieces of news from No Way Home coming out of it. Because Sony are also trying to get on that bandwagon. And what happened is, the lines between the Sony Spider-Verse and the Marvel Cinematic Universe have, of course, become a bit blurred recently. Sony have seen this, and they've thought, not only do we need Spider-Man involved, what if we had, and count me if I'm wrong, Shaun, a Blade versus Morbius movie?
Okay. Is Sony saying this or Marvel? Because Sony are, let's say, desperate. It's not the right word to use, but it's a word we can apply to the situation. Sony want to legitimise their universe, I think.
Like, Sony are the little brother to, like, Marvel's the really successful brother, and Marvel got Sony a job in the office they work in, and Sony's like, I'm going to make my own way. You watch.
Yeah, I'm going to do my own thing and be more successful than you. But they really can't. Like, because Morbius versus Blade, yeah, that is a thing. Like, that, there is, like, precedence for that throughout comics. That's one of his main enemies. But when you have Jared Leto's Morbius, which exists over here, and then you have Mahershala Ali's Blade, who exists, I would say, 1,000 miles and quality levels ahead of that.
I would like to see Mahershala Ali beat up Jared Leto.
See, this is the thing, is that he's going to lose. But also, no, he won't. Because
he won't.
He won't, because he's an anti-hero, as the trailer likes to hammer home to us every 5 seconds.
You could be a good guy or you could be a bad guy. This city needs a hero or a villain.
Yeah.
You could do good or bad with those powers you have.
And look, and I will say, in the comics, Dr. Michael Morbius, he's not necessarily, in my opinion, he's not as much of an anti-hero as much as he is a tragic villain. Like, he's more of a desperate man on the edge kind of thing.
Okay, he's more of a Doc Ock.
Yeah, kinda. In that, like, Spider-Man wants to help him because he feels sorry because of the hand he was dealt. Rather than, like, a Venom who is, like, chaotic good. Who'll do his own thing, but help out when it suits him.
I just think that we might be scraping the bottom. Blade hasn't even come out yet.
No. We've had like a line of dialogue from Blade in the MCU.
We have a vampire, and you have a vampire hunter, I mean, makes sense. Also, one has to lose, but will they both lose? No, because there's going to be a bigger villain, and then they become friends and must destroy Doomsday.
From the DC universe.
Yes, the DC Doomsday. They've joined together, and then they have to fight Doomsday. Nothing to do with vampires. He's just there somehow.
He's just popped up.
I thought she was with you, one will say.
Ben Affleck will say that, but he's Daredevil at the time though.
He's back as Daredevil.
He's back as Daredevil, yeah.
Yeah.
John
J-Lo
Favreau
convinced him again. J-Lo in 03 convinced him to do it, and in 2021 is convincing him again.
Thank God for J-Lo is all I have to say. Meanwhile, Charlie Cox is his character from Kin. He's just a Dublin man who happened to wander upon this situation. And who should fly in but Johnny Storm, played by Chris Evans.
We're writing the perfect universe.
This is how No Way Home should have ended.
Do you want to see Jared Leto get beaten up by any other actor? That's a yes.
It is a yes.
Do you want to see it to be done by Blade, or are you done with Morbius already and the movie has not come out?
This feels like what Vin Diesel did to The Rock. It feels like Sony is doing that to Kevin Feige.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just
pressure them.
Wait, they're playing into the whole "wouldn't it be cool if" kind of version of making movies.
Fans want it, Kevin.
Fans want it.
Fans want it. We have a petition with over 100 signatures. The fans want it, Kevin.
People want you to remake Star Wars Episode 9, Kevin. Are you going to deny them that?
We already have funding of 47 billion, and we will give it to you.
We have the gross GDP of Malta behind this movie, all right?
That's a very old go back to that time. All the Star Wars fans were like funding Episode 8, wasn't it?
I think it was even episode. Was it Episode 8?
It was 8. It was to remake 8.
It was Last Jedi, yeah.
And nobody ever had to put any money in. You just got to say how much you wanted to donate. So everyone just donated $50 billion, and they ended up with like $quadrillion.
But then I think the owner of that petition was like, "See, there's money behind it."
So Shaun, we're finishing off this week with the big news, and something I was very excited to talk about with you, but also mad that I seen it. Very interesting. Right. This is, of course, the new trailer for The Batman that came out last week.
Indeed,
and
it did.
I felt like we would be remiss if we didn't talk about it, because never have I watched a trailer and been just so excited but also mad that I had seen the 3 minutes of my life.
Because moments in this trailer would have been amazing in the cinema, is the thing. This is the Bat and the Cat trailer we're talking about.
The Bat and the Cat trailer, of course, came out. It very much a lot more story-driven trailer that came out.
Yes, and a lot more telling of where the plot will go. Before we get on to that kind of stuff, how do you feel about the Catwoman-Batman relationship that seems to be in this movie?
I mean, is that a question?
Is it?
I'm going to give it a big yes. Just a yes. No other. Just like, is that not the perfect encapsulation of the two of them?
It is indeed. Like we reviewed Batman Returns not too long ago, and that compared to this, oh my god, this is amazing.
Can I just direct you to a quote that I think sums up the two of their relationships that's in this trailer, where Catwoman Selina Kyle looks at Bruce Wayne and says, "Come on, Vengeance, let's go get into some trouble."
Yeah.
And to me, in that one sentence encapsulates, she's like, "Oh yeah, come on, you take yourself way too seriously. Vengeance. Come on, let's go to get into some trouble."
It's like lighten up, basically, is what she's saying to him. And
I mean, I feel like I just can't get my head around it, Shaun, because you know how much I love Batman. This movie looks fucking outstanding, but they need to stop showing me stuff. Because
I wish I hadn't seen this trailer.
Because I'm too excited about it. But also, I wanted, as you said, to see this stuff. Like, even, I would actually prefer if they didn't do this trailer and just gave me the same shots again from the previous trailer, but like added one or two extra in and been like, this is the new trailer.
But I see. I think this trailer, without a couple of lines of dialogue, is still a perfectly good trailer that doesn't ruin things. Not ruin things, but doesn't lessen things when you see them in theatres. Okay, the thing I'm referring to is that the Riddler in this movie knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne.
He also, I mean, I cannot stress enough how much the Court of Owls, I'm assuming, is in this movie.
Absolutely. Like, Sins of My Father. Alfred is definitely hiding something.
This family has a history of philanthropy, they say. And the minute they mention history and families in Gotham, it's always the Court of Owls in the last few years.
Yeah. Like, legitimately, there is no other thing that it could be at this point.
And like all the mention of the minute at the start, it said like you could be doing more for this city. Like we never see you doing anything. There's people like your family used to be involved in working on this city, making it a better place. All that shit. Like that is just literally perfect for the story you're telling. That the Waynes are into some shady shit. Bruce doesn't know. Alfred knows the big dark secrets, but Bruce is trying to solve Gotham from the ground up.
But it's often revealed in the comics that the Waynes were involved in shady shit that Bruce didn't know about before taking up the Batman crusade. And I feel like you need that now to make Bruce seem more honourable. Because otherwise he's just a rich boy who likes to hospitalise criminals.
Yeah, and then it's a double layer then. I really like the idea. There is also, I mean, you could go the Dark Knight or the Batman Begins route where you have the Waynes and they're lovely people. And they're just very rich, lovely people. And it's just they just so happen to be rich. But they're very nice, one's a doctor, whatever. But I feel like it adds a level of character to Batman. If he's trying to solve crime in Gotham because crime killed his parents, but also the crime that killed his parents was created by his parents and all of their shady dealings of like putting all of the bad people into one area of the city and just be like, let's give them no funding, nothing. We're just going to do everything over here.
Because objectively, and this is more about like comics and character itself, but like Bruce Wayne could fix all of the problems in Gotham without being Batman. Like that's objectively true.
It's two levels then. One is normally comic book Batman then like might set up, I don't know, an orphanage or like might set up a place for troubled kids or for trouble like he's setting up these places where people like rehab centers. People can go there to help themselves. And like he puts a lot of funding into that as Bruce Wayne. He's always like cutting the ties like, oh, Bruce Wayne opens another centre for whatever. And then at night time he's out there solving the fucking crime. Yeah. That goes on as well.
But he's also, like, he's solving it in the way that, like, you know, the guy down the street who lost his job can't get one, fell in with the wrong crowd and now works for the Joker to get a paycheck to support his family. He's putting that man in the hospital. But, like, Joker will go to Arkham and be released in 6 months.
That's the great, what's the word I'm looking for here? Dichotomy of Batman, that the more he does it, the worse it gets.
Yeah, it's a contradiction. Like, by helping, he's harming.
There's the great episode of Batman the Animated Series, where all the villains are all, like, put him on trial. It's called Trial. They put him on trial as, like, you created us, not vice versa. We didn't create you. You created most of it because they all got dropped into fucking vats of acid and he punched them into them and all that shit.
Gotta watch where you fall.
Gotta watch where you fall. What a great fucking line. But, like, you have the Riddler in this. He knows all of Gotham's deep, dark secrets. He knows Bruce is Bruce and Batman. He knows the Waynes are involved in all that shit. And I just think it's a great character piece. Also, there's the rumours that we're getting is that this Batman and Catwoman have known each other for years. In terms of Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle have known each other since they were very young.
Right.
And they've kind of grown up together. And so in that regard, maybe they meet in costume and they don't know who's who, but they probably will at some stage. I mean, she has no mascot in this trailer, so he knows she's Selena Kyle anyway. I'm assuming she probably knows he's Bruce.
At some level, I'm assuming she does. Like, because isn't it usually that they would get together as Batman and Catwoman, but then they wouldn't know each other as Bruce and Selena?
I mean, if we're getting married in the comic books, I know. I most of the time I just assume Catwoman knows, but like she's not. She's not outright evil. She's just a thief in that regard. Like she actually, she holds down an area of Gotham as her own. Like if there's any crime there, she will beat up the people committing the crimes.
That's her
that one area,
her territory, for want of a cat-based
term. And Bruce trusts her with that territory. He's like, Catwoman's got that. She's going to fuck up anybody that does shit there. But then again, every so often she might want to try and steal a few diamonds. And then there's the great thing of he has to stop her. She's like, well, it doesn't pay for itself. Like, I can do the crime stopping, but we all don't live in a mansion.
Yeah, we can't all be Bruce Wayne. Oh no, I didn't mean to say. Oh no.
I mean, they do have to take off the outfits at some stage most of the time in comic books. So I'm assuming they do know who each other are.
That's no masks on all the time.
Masks on all the time.
That's what they're into. What can I say? Well, I will say, this movie still looks amazing. We get a lot more Batmobile play in this, and it's all entirely practical, and it looks so fucking good.
I cannot stress enough how good it looks. I don't know. Like, I've never been this excited for a movie, but also I don't want my heart broken. So I don't know. I don't know what to do, Shaun.
I mean, just think of how you felt after watching Joker, and imagine the opposite of that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a movie you weren't excited for, but you reluctantly liked, I think.
That's not true.
I think you reluctantly liked it at some level.
I liked Joaquin Phoenix's performance.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think excellent performance. Remake of other movies. I like those other movies it's copying.
I like The King of Comedy. I like Taxi Driver.
I like those other movies that basically just copies. Yeah, I like them. So throw them in.
I like The Hangover Part 3.
Todd Phillips' finest hour. Shaun, how deep do you think this movie is going to get into the Court of Owls? Is this going to be Riddler focused, and at the end of this movie, the big explosion happens where Bruce is like, holy shit, this goes way deeper?
I think it's going to end with like the Riddler being captured and saying to look like leaving Batman one last riddle, and I think he's going to find some symbol of an owl in like records, or like as a stamp on a letter or something like that.
He'll find a talon.
A talon is good. Talon is good. Like, I think it's going to be some setup to a second film. I don't know whether they will ostensibly say Court of Owls in this movie.
They don't have to either. I mean,
no.
It's just the idea of there is a group behind, like, there's a group behind Gotham for years of all the rich families that just have run it to basically make as much money as possible. How far-fetched is that, Shaun?
Not very, I would say. I could see the second movie being called Batman, The Court of Owls. Something like that. It's kind of like how, the Joker setup at the end of Batman Begins. I think it's going to be that kind of thing, but for the Court of Owls.
Can I make a bold prediction that Zoe Kravitz might be the best casting of
she's great
character since probably Hugh Jackman or like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool?
Yeah, I've only seen the trailer. Embodies the role,
and from what I've seen, I'm like, that's what Catwoman is in the comic book, just on TV.
Yeah, just doesn't give a shit. Is just like, I'm here for me. You just happen to be along for the ride. Like, that's the vibe I get from her. And
I think Anne Hathaway gets a lot of shit for her Catwoman. I think that Catwoman is fine. It's not that, like,
I think she's grand in that universe. I think it fits.
I think that in that universe she's grand. A very excellent actress herself. So like, it's absolutely not an issue with her. It's just like, it's fine. But Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, I was just literally like, that is comic book accurate. When you just see, very similar to when we all seen the Ryan Reynolds or the Deadpool, remember, leaked footage?
The test footage, yeah.
Holy shit, that's That's Deadpool.
That's the character, but moving.
Oh shit! Yeah, I really hope it does really well. It's coming out in March 4th of this year.
So not long to wait.
How excited are you, Shaun? Because you know where I am.
Yeah, you're about a 5 out of 10, I would say. So
I'd say I'm more excited for Moonfall.
Moonfall is like the theatrical event of the decade, I would say. But
between everyone here and us, we're trying to get a premiere ticket to Moonfall.
We're doing our best, everyone. Like, legitimately, if anyone is listening who can do that for us, let us know.
Like, we've never messaged any other studio about like getting the premiere tickets. Like, hey, we're a movie podcast. Get us in. Moonfall's
going to be the one.
I won't even contact Warner Brothers for the Batman. That can wait a day. Moonfall needs to be seen.
Moonfall needs to be reviewed day of release. That's what needs to happen.
By the way, just before we finish up, I found out Moonfall, world's worst movie of 2022, has a budget of $140 million.
Good God.
I think that's too much.
Yeah, you can make a lot of things for $140 million.
I do think it takes a lot of CGI to have the moon hit the earth. I think that does probably take up a lot of it.
It probably does. That's. I hope the budget's going on moon CGI. Like, what else would it go on?
If this is the first time you're hearing of Moonfall, I would recommend going to watch any of the trailers. They make no sense. But
Connor, you can't say that. We're trying to get tickets. You have to hype it up.
Sorry. It's Oscar. It's coming out in February, unfortunately. Not many Oscars are going to be given. I think it'll be too late at that stage.
I think it's past the Oscar season, but 2023. Oh, Moonfall, Moon VFX, best winner, best picture, best adapted screenplay, best foreign film. How we doing?
Did you see the Suicide Squad didn't get nominated for best VFX?
Yeah, I saw that. It was very weird.
Very strange.
Because they had a lot of good effects in that.
They had a
King Shark ripped a man in half.
They had a shark in the movie.
He was just walking around like a human, but he was a shark. What can I say?
Shaun, I think that's it for this week's Movie Mondays.
What a week. It's nice to be actually doing movie news again. It's nice to catch up on all of the hot takes that we were behind on. So
yeah, definitely. Also, what do you think of Robert Pattinson as Batman?
I like him. I think that helmet's a bit too round at the temple.
I think it works. I think his chin makes it work.
He has the chin for it. He does have the chin for it. I just think it comes out a bit too much. I would like a more square-shaped helmet myself. But look,
still not a fan of the Bruce Wayne hair.
Not a fan of the big floppy like MCR hair.
Big floppy hair. Yeah, it's more. That to me is more Dick Grayson than it is Bruce. But it could be a young Bruce. So
it's a younger Bruce. Yeah. But like, certainly, I would like to see where it goes. Like Bruce Wayne, I think. Yeah, cut short with the side part.
Like, shave those sideburns.
Trim those sideburns, exactly. Connor, would you like me to take us out?
Yes, please.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We'll be back Wednesday with Weird News, Friday with Hero or Zero, next Monday with another episode of Movie Mondays. Big thanks goes out to everyone who supports us over on Patreon. Might have mentioned it a couple of times this episode, but special shout-outs go to New Year, New Waffles, Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe Burney, Róisín the Wife Palmer, Ryan Right Time Evanson, Shaun Grow Your Mo for a Bro Jamieson, Dominic, Jessiah Florida Gal Green, Anna Team Irish Walrus Hjelmroos, Lil Dicky I volunteer here during the summer. The mask is just some fun. McGrew. Can only assume that he's referring to Jim Carrey's The Mask from the 90s. And it is some fun, Connor, let's be honest.
I'm more of a Son of the Mask fan myself.
I saw it's a man of culture, I see. Thanks also to Danny McLaughlin, Ray, I Can't Believe Wanda Did This, Sammy DeLucia, Michelle, Merry Christmas to all, Browne, and doing what is best when you have no time to die and you'll never be far from home, Luke Hoth. Thanks all for the continued support. Everyone who supports us over there is a legend. If you want to join those fine people, link in the description to that, or it's Heroes for Hire podcast. Oh no, God, I fucked it up this week. It's patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. However, we are Heroes for Hire podcast on Instagram. The Twitter is @Heroes4HirePod. The 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. And you can email any questions or anything like that to heroesforhire_@outlook.com. But the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I have been Ciara Lawler.
I have been Shaun Meehan.
And we shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.